And CTV's Joy Malbon is covering it all. She joins us from Philadelphia for the pontiff's visit. Joy, great to have you on. So let's start with, let's touch upon the Pope meeting with sex assault victims this morning at the seminary. Talk to us about the significance of that meeting.
It's hugely significant. I mean, the other day he gave a pep talk to the bishops saying that they were doing a good job, and many victims of child sex abuse in the church said, wait a second, what about us? You haven't done enough for our healing. You haven't acknowledged our suffering. And one father told me that the Catholic Church must apologize over and over again in order to get past this, because it's a very tough time being a Catholic these days. Attendance has fallen, and even though there are crowds of people here to see Pope Francis today, he can't say enough. Our understanding from the Vatican press release is that he met with men and women, victims of not only church sex abuse, but teachers, and he promised them that the guilty would be punished and that it would never happen again.
He's also talked in the past about his concern for the world's imprisoned, and today he took the time out of this 6-day huge trip to visit a corrections facility. What do we know about that trip?
Well, this is where Pope Francis really shines. He loves those one-on-one meetings. He met with inmates, men and women, and it seemed more like a very formal meeting until the very end, when there were hugs and there was clapping, that sort of thing. And Francis has always said, you know, don't judge these people. Hate the sin, but not the sinner. But it's these intimate moments that he has, these one-on-one personal encounters, that he really treasures and where we really see him shine.
He was also at the seminary talking to bishops. What did we learn from that?
Well, you know, he has to give pep talks to bishops, you know, and he was talking about the sexual abuse scandal that has stained the church. But really, why people are here, and this is the reason why Pope Francis came to Philadelphia, it's for the Festival of Families. It's a celebration of Catholic families. I like to call it kind of like a Woodstock for Catholics. There's a lot of happiness here. People have been camping out since overnight. They have traveled from California, from Canada. I spoke to many Canadians today just to hear this Pope. He is the vicar of Christ for them, and what they like about him, all the people I've spoken to, is the fact that, look, he's not changing the church's rules, he's just interpreting them a little differently, welcoming people, the vulnerable, the weak. I spoke to a brother and sister who plan to wave their pride flags to Pope Francis. So a lot of people feel that this is a man who is bringing them back to the church.
And the Mass for the masses, what time is that expected to start?
Well, that's expected this afternoon, and I got to tell you, the crowds are just crazy. People have to go through a security perimeter. It's very, very tight. I've seen more police than I've ever seen in my entire life. We waded into the crowd earlier this morning. People have been camping out since 2 o'clock in the morning, and as I said before, they've come from all over the world, trying to get that front row seat just to say, El Papa, hello, hello, and just to be as close as they can to him.
CTV's Joy Malbon joining us from Philadelphia. Thanks so much, Joy. Appreciate it.